I guess we're all doing better than Diddy. Oh, what a week. All right, if you don't know, I'll try to bring you up to speed very quickly. Basically, Diddy has been the devil for decades. And it's really only this year that everything's sort of coming to roost, right? It sort of started with a lawsuit brought by his ex-girlfriend, Cassie. And, in the lawsuit is detailing horrific things you will not, you will feel sick if you read the lawsuit. And Diddy said it was all a lie. Just nothing but disgusting lies about his character, and he settled the lawsuit the next day. I don't know about you, but I've never been lied on so hard that I was like, you better stop lying about me. I will pay you as much as you want for you to stop telling me all the stuff I supposedly did. I want to make sure that this is, how much does the check need to be? It won't be in escrow. It'll be in a check form in the morning. But I will pay you as much as it takes for you to stop lying before people start looking into what you said because everybody else is saying it. Well, no, it's crazy. And even more recently, more allegations and more investigations have been going into Diddy being alleged. Legally, you have to say it. Being an alleged sex trafficker and everything, to the point where, this week, the FBI raided all of his houses at once, just to make sure, every single one, at the same time, make sure he wasn't house hopping or anything, just going everywhere. They grabbed all the homes and the homies, and they pulled everybody outside, and it was truly astounding to watch, because if you've ever watched, I watch a lot of news, so I remember, the Roger Stone raid. Anytime the FBI or Homeland Security does a raid, it's a weird hierarchy that you notice, because they'll show up to do the raid, right? So FBI or Homeland Security, they'll be fitted up, right? Top to bottom, they got the AR-15, they got the vest on, full body armor, they got the boots, they got the helmet. And then sometimes they actually have backup. Backup is SWAT. So then SWAT is also there dressed like SWAT, and we know what SWAT is dressed like. And then it will just be the regular police. And it kind of made me feel bad for the local police, because imagine you show up to work and all your coworkers look like Call of Duty that day. And you just have to show up with your chest. That's unfair to them. If I was a cop, I'd be like, y'all ain't got any extra ARs in the trunk or anything. I can't hold something. Y'all just showed up all prepared. Y'all said he dangerous. You know what? I'm gonna wait next to the car. That's what I'm gonna do. Y'all, this is bull. I'm not doing. And truly, watch any FBI raid. All the local police are next to the cars in the street. They're like, no, they gonna get him. They gonna get him. Oh, you better watch out, because they coming. All right. But yeah. They raided all that dude's houses at one time, pulled people out, were interrogating people, were trying to look for stuff in the houses. And meanwhile, a lot of people have been waiting on Diddy's downfall for a long time, so they track his movements. And I want to take a quick second, because a lot of people, as this is mainly a black thing, knowing about Diddy. It feels like the world didn't know. But black people, we knew. We were like, nah. Something happening with him that seems off. I don't know if I loved that either. That's just been us for 2 decades with Diddy, just being like, did y'all see that? You know what I mean? And so a lot of other people are catching up. So then there are things, when anything like this comes out, there are things where people ask, why is everybody talking about it now, coming forward now, stuff like that. I want to be clear. Diddy is not like a Harvey Weinstein in that way, right? Because with Harvey Weinstein, everyone started coming forward, and then people were like, why didn't y'all say something sooner? Look at him. We would have believed you. Like, we don't do a good enough job of believing women, but with Harvey, I'd be like, whatever y'all say he did, he did. I can just see it from his build that he did whatever. But Diddy's a very different thing. Diddy's scary. A lot of people are scared of Diddy. And you want to know one of the reasons why people are scared of Diddy? Because of where he comes from. There's gangsters, then there's gangsters. Okay? Diddy's dad has ties to Frank Lucas. If you don't know Frank Lucas is who Denzel played in American Gangster. That's who Diddy's dad hung out with. That's who Diddy's dad did business with. So when you ever rewatch American Gangster and you see that scene when Frank Lucas, Denzel, stands up and in the middle, broad daylight, middle of the sidewalk, a dude disrespects him and he pulls out a gun and he shoots him in the head and kills him in front of everybody because he knows nobody will say anything. That's who Diddy's dad ran with, right? That's who taught him his like ABCs and stuff. You know what I mean? When you see that scene, that's a bone-chilling scene because it happened. That happened. He did that. He killed someone broad daylight because he knew no one around would say anything, right? So when you see that scene and you see Denzel do that, just know that one of the extras in the background, at least one of those kids, is Diddy. That's terrific, you know? And that's why people are getting so scared of him, because we know that he just moves differently, you know what I mean? And a lot of people have been waiting on his downfall for a long time. So when the FBI was raiding, people were like, where is Diddy? And you know how these kids are now? They're very smart. They can track anything. They track Diddy's plane. And so while the FBI is raiding all of his homes at one time, Diddy's plane is leaving America. And I don't mean getting fueled up. I mean, the plane is over just blue. That's the ocean. The plane is gone, right? And the plane is headed for Antigua. Now, Antigua is still extradite. So a lot of people are like, why would he be going over to Antigua? Then other people said, hey, maybe he's landing in Antigua because everybody knows that's his plane. He's going to land in Antigua. He's going to get on a friend's smaller plane, and he's going to go to a country that doesn't extradite, like Bali, right? So then that plane lands in Antigua, it comes right back. When it lands, turns out Diddy was never on the plane. He was in Miami the whole time. This man is a terrible rapper and an incredible villain. I've been thrown for a loop consistently with him. Like, this man should be in a James Bond movie. You know, a lot of people are just waking up to how Diddy is, you know. We knew. You know how you know that we knew? Diddy's the only black billionaire we didn't root for. It's a very big deal when you get a black billionaire. We're always like, oh, yeah, oh, he did it. You know, I remember when that guy, you know that guy that gave the commencement speech at Morehouse, and at the end of the speech, he said he was going to pay for all the kids' student loans. That moment went viral. It was crazy. Kids were crying and everything, jumping up, screaming. I looked it up. I found the guy. His name was Robert Smith. Turns out he's a billionaire. He didn't give me any money, but I was at home like, we got another one. Diddy became a billionaire. We were like, good for you. I don't know about y'all, but I absolutely love when home drama spills out into the world. You know what I mean? I don't watch a lot of reality television, so I love when a real life couple just can't take it anymore. You know what I mean? Like they have to have it out, and they have to have it out now. And now is here. And here is where I am. So I get a free show. You know? I think it happens a lot in New York City because we don't have space. Like, y'all have real homes here. Y'all can be like, we will discuss this later. In New York, we don't have that. We're like, I want to argue in private at home, but home don't have no elbow room. I want to argue where I can move a little bit because I'm passionate with my movements. Now, if I'm arguing at home, one time I was arguing at home and I went like this to be like, oh, wait, just like to hold it up. And then I hit my elbow and there's no way to look right when you just stand there like, so sometimes couples just have to have it out in that moment, And I was walking. I try to do this at least once a week. I was on a walk with no AirPods in, right? Just really like be around in the world, And I think it's an important thing to do because it opens you up to what's happening around you. And I would have missed this had I had my AirPods in. I was walking, and as I'm walking, I see this dude bust out of the door of his house, right? He's running down the stoop of his brownstone, no shirt on, anything, looking terrified, like, look. And so I turn and I see what I can only imagine is his girlfriend or wife running behind him. And I was like, all right, this seems awesome. Let's see how it goes. And she has something in her hand, but it doesn't look like a gun, so I'm like, I'm willing to stay and see this through. Because if it's a gun, people get upset, they miss. Now she done shot me, I'm bleeding out. I'm not even part of your love. I'm laying there holding my wound, y'all done worked it out. Like, this could all be for nothing. It's just she's holding something, but I can't see what it is, right? And as he's running down the stoop, she runs down with him, and she gets to this specific step, and then she goes like this, right? She goes like this, and then a piece of what she was holding flies out and hits him in the back, and he goes, ah! And then she lets go of the other thing that she was holding. It slides down the stairs, and when it slides down, it's close enough for me to see. And when I look, it was the sleeve of a Hot Pocket. This woman done burned the hell out of this man with a Hot Pocket. In the known universe, there are about 4 states of matter, right? There's gas, there's liquid, and there's solid. There's also plasma. Now, plasma can reach a temperature of about 45,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and just under that. Close second is Hot Pocket juice. Hot Pocket juice must be studied. This will burn your soul. Hot Pocket juice is far too hot. It is absolute insanity, okay? Because we've all been there. We've all been there where you were hungry, you heat up the Hot Pocket, that's gonna be quick, and then you went ahead and you put it higher than the instructions say, because you know when you follow the instructions, the middle cold. So then you put it at least 2 minutes higher than the instructions say because you got a different type of microwave. Your microwave doesn't work like the box says. And so you put an extra 2 minutes, but now we're into heated territory that no one, even the people at the company, are aware of, right? And then you pull the Hot Pocket out, you hold it by the sleeve, and you wouldn't even be in this situation if you could just be a gentleman and wait, right? But you're hungry, you're greedy, you can't help yourself, and so you blow, you do blow. You give it a good try too. You blowing the bread. You're not doing anything for that juice inside. That juice is still bubbling like lava. Waiting to bust out. And so then you take your first bite, and because you're hungry, because you're being greedy, you bite too hard, the juice pops out, it hits your lip, and you go, ah! Now you coughing because steam coming out of your mouth because you got the cornbread in your mouth with all the juice burning everything. Burning teeth. Just burning. Inexplicably, just burning and burning and burning. It's terrible. This woman was running after this man. We don't know what he did. I didn't stay for an interview. This woman was running down the stairs after this man and had the Hot Pocket sleeve in her hand and reared back like an ancient weapon. Reared back. And flung the Hot Pocket out, flung it like she had done it before. Like, she must be burning him weekly to have this sort of aim. If this was a game show, I could never sling it and hit what I wanted to hit. And she hit, not only did she hit him in the middle of the back. She hit him in the spine. So it's in just enough of a position that he can't really reach it. Like it's not here and it's not here. Like this man is fighting for his life right now. She gave him 32nd degree burns. And my man's like, ah! And I want to help, but I'm like, I'm not going to burn my fingers. Like, and then I had never stopped walking the entire time, but I did take off into a brisk jog. Because as he was holding the railing of his stoop, I saw her lift another Hot Pocket. I was like, let me leave before I witness a murder.
If you're looking up at me and you're like, this guy's been mugged, you'd be right. I have been mugged. I am very muggable. And here's the thing. I don't know if other guys in the room do this. Guys, when you see a dude walking towards you on the street that looks threatening, do you think in your head how you're gonna have to take him? You know? Because that's what I do, okay? And the way I can fight in my head is astounding, all right? And the way I fight in real life, not so much, all right? So I saw a guy coming towards me, he looked threatening, and he looked like he was coming right to me, so in my head I was like, ugh, looks like we're gonna have to Jason Bourne this. I'm gonna jump in the air, do 3 flips, don't wanna do 3, but we need to do what needs to be done, all right? Bring my knee down on his head, crack his skull, punch him in the face till he's incapacitated. That was my plan, all right? This guy's plan was, I'm gonna punch this guy in the face and take his wallet. We met up and he had a much better plan than I did. His plan was on fire, execution, everything, all right? Something that you guys don't know about me, if you punch me hard enough in the face, I pee. So he walked up, punched me in the face, I hit the ground, started peeing around Q. I don't disappoint, okay? It's not my style, all right? And so then he's trying to fit his huge muscular hand into my pants to take my wallet, but his hand gets stuck because my pants fit. Go figure, I know. But now his hand is stuck in there, and he's like trying to get it out, but he can see the pee stain getting bigger on my pants. He's trying to pull it. So he's like, he's lifting me off the ground at this point. I don't weigh much. I'm 125. Forget it, and he leaves. Guys, who needs karate? Am I right? I know I'm losing my mind, though. I know I'm crazy. I know I'm out of my mind. I got the cops called to my apartment for the first time ever in life because my neighbor thought that I was killing my girlfriend. So I had to explain to the police, not only do I not have a girlfriend, but it's just me in here. Sounding crazy enough to be 2 people. Right? And in my defense, I was losing a fight to a ceiling fan. Alright? Let me explain. We've been to the moon, okay? And we use little pieces of glass to talk to people in China if we choose. But there is still no clear indication when to stop pulling the drawstring on a ceiling fan, alright? There's not. You don't know gotta win. And so I'm chilly now. I was warm before, now I'm chilly. I'd like the ceiling fan to stop because I'm chilly, all right? And it's just going. So the cops come, and they don't arrest me, but they feel real sorry for me. Because if you're yelling at an appliance, I'll kill you. You know why you're single.
It still sort of blows my mind. I can't believe it, if I'm being honest. I can't believe that they agreed to do it. Like, both of them agreed to. Like, Trump and Biden are going to debate. They both agreed to debate. This was crazy about them debating. We know how we feel. Like, it's weird that both of them were like, you know what'll do it? You know what'll lock it up? If I talk one more time. That's what the people want, you know what I mean? They want to see me at the booth. That's what. No, it feels crazy. There will be, I can only tell you this. It's months away, I'm sure. But whenever it happens, the only loser will be us. We will. Both those dudes are going to talk and interrupt. It's going to be a hell show. And then everyone's going to walk away like their dude won. And I do my best to be honest with you and be honest with myself. It does make me nervous, and I think everybody's nervous. I think all parties involved are nervous. You know, I'm nervous for Biden to debate because I'm nervous when Biden talks. Don't be like that, you know. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is the best way I can relate it. Because Biden starts sentences ambitious. The way I relate to how Biden talks is when I first moved to Chicago, right? I didn't have much. And I moved, and I really wanted to clear my head because I was overwhelmed with the move, right? And I was like young, but I was still scared. I didn't feel like I knew enough people to really have like a support system or anything. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna learn the area. I'm just gonna go for a walk, and without my phone. I don't want to be in my phone. I want to learn the neighborhood. I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna clear my head. So then I left my phone at the apartment, and I just went for a walk, and it felt good. It felt genuinely great to just not have people texting me, not be getting notifications on my phone, not get distracted from anything by my phone, and just look at what a beautiful city I had just moved to. And the weather was nice. Y'all would have appreciated it. It was very sunny. All the white people were smiling at me. It was, you know, black people too, but just there's a certain, I don't know. And, you know, after a while, you know, 10, 20 minutes, I don't know. I didn't have my phone. So I don't know how much time had passed, but I got to the point where I was like, all right, I'm feeling good. I feel better. Let's go back. And I turned around and I was like, uh-oh. Because I had just moved to a new city, and I knew my address. but I didn't know much else. I don't know how many lefts I took. Like, I was just sort of following the sunlight. I was letting them lead me. And then, now I'm like, uh-oh. And so it took quite a while. It took a much longer walk than I anticipated for me to get back home. And that's what every sentence Biden says feels like. It feels like... Because you can see when he ready. When those first two words in, it's like when somebody try to run and they can't really run. Because it's like he start off hard, and then by the middle, you can see in his eyes, he's like, oh, where was I? And then by the end of the sentence, he's like, I think I stuck it. So I'm nervous for Biden to talk. And I know Trump's team is nervous for him to talk, not just because this debate is going to have certain stipulations, like they're going to cut his mic if he goes over time. There's all this stuff. I think that genuinely Trump's team is like, he's finally going to say it. We've managed to go 9 years without him saying it, but he gonna slip. He gonna say it. I don't think it'll even be in like reference to black people. He just gonna say it. But he gonna be talking about fruit or something, like even racist people will be like, huh. That's not how I use it. He's so creative. I will say, people go on and on about Trump being racist. That man is way more weird than he is racist. Trump's racism is like here. His weirdness is top notch. Because I gotta watch a lot of the news. For work, I have to watch a ton of news. I have to watch not everything because it's not humanly possible, but I have to watch things over again. I have to go back. I've watched so many of his rallies, right? I've watched a ton of rallies. And he has a thing at his rallies where it feels like a wrestling match. I can understand why people enjoy going. I do. I get it. Because it's politics for sport. Like, you know when to boo, you know when to cheer. It's theater, right? And he is good at it. We'd be delusional to pretend that he's not good at it, right? But every once in a while, even he won't know what should be next. Like, I was watching this rally where I think he was going on like immigration, then he was going on like finances and Wall Street and stuff, and then out of nowhere he just started talking about the water pressure in America. And you could tell people who had just been cheering were like, yeah, oh, yeah, I guess. Nah, I mean, he's not wrong. I have felt that too. Like, I felt like this man was railing about immigration, and out of nowhere he's like, there's no like the shower don't hit. The toilets don't flush when you want them to flush. It take 3 flushes. This man literally was like, it take 3 flushes. What are we doing, people? The washing machine doesn't get the stains out. Like, it really was like this political thing that quickly turned into like how his day was going. And honestly, it's the most relatable he's ever been to me. Because I was like, nah, he not wrong. Sometimes when you at a hotel, it does drip on you. And you're like, nah, I need power. I need that masseuse setting in the shower. Yeah. This has bothered me for a long time. And I know nobody cares because it's like barely topical anymore. But there's a case against Trump, one of many, right? There's a case against Trump with the classified documents. Now, a lot of people say that it's going to get thrown out. A lot of these are probably going to get thrown out, right? But the classified documents case, I don't have proof. I like to think I'm not like a conspiracy theorist or anything, but for real, I don't have proof. So what I'm telling you is me just talking to y'all because we're friends, okay? So I'm just telling you what I think. I'm not telling you that like the prosecutor can even pull him up on this. I'm just saying that this is what I think, right? So the classified document, he basically, in case you don't know, took a lot of documents with him when he left the White House, right? And they went to Mar-a-Lago and retrieved a bunch of them. And they were in all sorts of different rooms. Like, they were in the closet. Some of them were in the bathroom. There's all this stuff like that. Now, the speech that he gave, the rally he gave that I was talking about before, was towards the end of his presidency. And I think this is what I think happened. He started bringing up the water pressure. I'm pretty sure he tried to flush documents that day. Before the rally, like they were like, Mr. President, we have to go. Like we have to go. We're going to be late. And he's like, he read something that didn't seem good. Everybody jokes he can't read. The man can read. He probably read it and was like, this one. And then he flush it, and because it's printer paper, it doesn't go down like toilet tissue. So then after the third flush, it's not going down. He's like, this country is doomed. All right, this should have been gone down. And so then when they went to Mar-a-Lago and there were all the documents stocked up to the ceiling in the bathroom, people were like, why were there documents in the bathroom? I think that those were unflushed documents. I think that... I don't have any proof of what I'm saying. Take it all with a grain of salt. We're here to have fun. But no, I do think Trump's team is a bit nervous because the agreement for the debate had like very specific stipulations that like some people were saying were fair, some people were saying were deeply unfair and everything, but a lot of it just doesn't play to what Trump is good at. You know what I mean? Trump is good with a crowd, and they didn't want to have a crowd, stuff like that. And I don't know. As much as I, pick on Biden about talking, Trump has his stuff too. Like, I remember that time he tried to say origins. In case you haven't seen the clip, it's phenomenal. Basically, it's rough, because I'm not even kidding, I'm being real with y'all for a second, I did feel bad for him in that moment, because you can tell he know the word. You can tell he's trying to say orange, or he's trying to say origins, and he keeps saying oranges. But he doesn't mean to. It's like when you keep texting the same auto-corrected word, and you don't mean to, you know what I mean? Like your friend texts you something crazy, and you try to text back like, fuck, and then you end up texting back duck, and then you text duck again. And then you text duck one more time. And then you get upset, so you just text damn it. Like, that's... Because he knew the word. He really did. He was like, the oranges of it. And you can tell he got a little embarrassed because he know he on TV and everything, and so he tries to back up. He's like, the oranges. The oranges. It was like watching somebody with their phone, but in his mouth. He was like, and I was also like, he need to tell his mouth to act right, because I can tell his brain knows the word, because he kept saying oranges. He's like, the oranges, the beginnings, where it starts, the oranges, the One thing I wish we would have got more of, because it was spectacular to watch, was a real, Trump versus DeSantis. We didn't really get it. You know what I mean? Like Trump just started smoking him off his swag, and then DeSantis dropped out. But I want them to go. I want them to debate. That's what I want to see. That's what the world needs. Those two debating, getting at it, and not about policy or anything, because honestly, they both have shots for each other that would go harder than Kendrick and Drake. Like, Trump and DeSantis in a debate, all Trump has to do is, do his thing. I'm the president you love, and whatever. And then DeSantis can just be like, well, I served in the military. Where were you? There was one roast that Trump got in on DeSantis that was particularly spectacular. It was fire, right? Because everybody was making fun of DeSantis for wearing heels, because we couldn't tell if he was wearing heels or not, because he always was like, his height is weird. There's pictures where he's next to people and he's taller than them, and then there's pictures where he's next to other people who are the same height as the other people he was taller than, and he's the same height as them. So people were like, he's wearing platform shoes, he's got to be. And then Trump, ooh. Oh, it was cold. It's one of the coldest things I've seen him do in a long time. So Trump was explaining the shoes out of nowhere at a rally for no reason. Nobody said anything. He was talking about infrastructure. He was talking about how bad Biden is. And then out of nowhere, he was like, and have you seen DeSantis' shoes? They're weird. When he said they're weird, I paused, and I went and popped some popcorn. Because I was like, he's about to light him up. And then this clip did not get passed around as much as it should have, but basically he was describing the shoe, and he was like, you can't tell it's a platform shoe because it's a heel inside. Like, Trump has trouble with the word origins, but he roasted this man so articulately. Like, just... He was like, no, there's a platform within the shoe, so it looks flat at the bottom, but up top, you know, he's on his tiptoes, and you can tell when he walks. I'm not even kidding, Trump did this. You can tell when he walks because he goes like this. Wow. Wow. That's my main thing with the debate, too. Biden versus Trump debating. Again, we didn't get anything out of the last one that they did, you know what I mean? And I just think, okay, I do think it would be funny if, remember, we're here to have fun. It would be funny to be cool. It would be funny to me if during the debate, one of them died. Like, that was, like, that's... I see some of y'all, no. We're here to have fun. We're here to have fun. Don't do that. No. Cut it out. You know that is because these are very old men. They're both so old they both used to be president. Like, yes. Do you know how old you have to be to used to be? The job you don't get until you're 70? That would be very funny if mid-debate one of them just tip and die. And then the other one's like, I rest my case. Did you see the abortion ban in Arizona? Yeah, it's pretty crazy because, in case you haven't seen, the state Supreme Court, I believe, reinstated an 1864 law that bans abortion across the board, no exceptions, right? And people are, you know, obviously protesting. People are going back and forth online and everything. And I've been thinking about it a lot, because I'm thinking about it from the perspective of someone who will never, like, need one himself. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm never gonna get with somebody and then be like, she hit it and quit it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? And so I was thinking about it, because it's in Arizona, but Arizona wasn't even actually like a state when this law went into effect. Like Arizona didn't become a state till 1912. Like, Arizona wasn't born yet. And it's such a contentious thing because it's so much about belief, right? There's one side that believes that there's, like, murders happen. They believe that people are dying. And then there's another side that believes in their autonomy. They're like, no, you can't just come in here and tell me what to do, right? And no matter where you land, I've tried to think of a way through, like a path, right? Something that makes things a bit more fair, you know? And I'm not perfect. And I'm not a woman, so I don't know if this is helpful, but it feels like everyone who wants the 1864 law should just have to live like it's 1864. Because technically they shouldn't mind anyway. We're bringing back the laws, why not the lifestyle? You know? Like you can have the law that you want. You win, you got it, but also no more medicine for you. That's done. Guys, flush those down the toilet. And when you do, enjoy that last flush, because toilets are also off. Those are done too. Yeah. I don't know. Feels like we're leveling the stakes a little bit, you know? Some of these people that want these laws, it's not actually gonna affect them. So you have to bring them in, give them some skin in the game, right? If it's 1864, oof. One bad taco. It might really take you out. I just want a good doctor. I live in New York and you think there'd be one, but I don't know. I just want to have a good doctor I can depend on and go to a lot. Because I was going to this one doctor just for a checkup, right? Just a physical, because I hadn't gone to a doctor in like a year and a half. I've been blessed enough to not have more than a cold. So I just wasn't going to the doctor. And I finally went, and you know, he had the popsicle stick, and he was like, "Go ah," and I was like, "Ah," and he's like, "No, ah." I'm like, "Ah," and he's like, "No, like ah," and I was like, "Ah," and he's putting the popsicle stick in my mouth. He's like, "No, like go ah," and I'm like, "Ah," and he's like, "Deeper." I was like, "Don't say that to me." Not for this. And so he's like, "Go ah," and I'm like, "Ah," and then this thing happened, and I understand people are human, but this is unacceptable, right? So I'm like, "Ah," and then he's like, "Yeah, like ah," but then he is going ah so much that he goes like ah, and then he coughed in my mouth. And I understand that we all human and everything, we all make mistakes, but like this is half off now. Like you can't. You know what I mean? You're not just gonna charge my full insurance, because now I got what you got. I'm a black dude. I'm a black dude with plenty of white friends. And it's crazy because, you know, there's a weird thing that you have to watch out for as a black dude with white friends. You know, you gotta watch out for a little tokenism in there. You gotta watch out. You know, you gotta go to the function, make sure there's another one of you. Because you don't want it to be just you. You don't want to be the only black friend. Because now I just know it's like, oh, you collecting. One black guy, one Asian guy. Oh, this is not good. This is grabbing us like infinity stones. You know what I mean? It's very uncomfortable. You know? But there are some tells to know, like, you know, past friendship and past any sort of like social constructs around race. There are ways to tell as a black person, all by yourself, how close your white friends really are to you, how they feel about you. You, as a black person, don't always know who your white friends are until they take a picture of you. Some of you don't know what I'm talking about. Cameras weren't necessarily made with melanin in mind. And every once in a while, you'll have a white friend take a picture of you, or a picture of you and them, and you don't come out looking great. And you'll show them the picture. You'll be like, what is this? You made me look like a cat. Like, what is happening right now? And they're like, looks great to me. Oh, okay. That's terrifying news, because that means this is how I look to you all the time. If you don't see a difference, I don't know if we could be friends. This is insanity. You know, love a white friend who thinks about a flash. Sometimes at the sacrifice of themselves. I've had some wonderful white friends who have been like, let's make sure that everybody in the picture looks good. We'll put the flash on. I don't even have to say anything. Just in my head, I'm like, wow, what a white friend. What a true ally. And then we'll take the picture and I come out looking amazing. We're coming out looking extra Nubian, you know? Like a young prince, and then they look like a fresh ghost. And this is where hypocrisy comes into play. This is where everyone can be a little racist, because I'll see the picture and I'll be like, I don't really see a problem here at all. You look great to me. I'll be vulnerable for a second. Tell you, I'm lucky to be staying in a very nice hotel this time, right? But I did a show in Detroit back in the day, and every time I do a show in Detroit, I don't really get a good hotel. I don't know if Detroit doesn't have them, but even when I stay at a different place, I'm having the same experience. And basically, I got some food, was going to my hotel room. I was eating the food in my hotel room and proceeded to get food poisoning in the hotel room, right? So I'm very sick. I'm feeling horrible. And I'm feeling horrible quickly, which means this could be death. You know what I mean? Usually, even as poison, it sits for a second. It decides to stretch before it poisons, right? Like, let me get my, you know? But this poison went right to work, and so I ran to the bathroom and was in the bathroom for what had to be like 45 minutes, right? Like, I say that because I just finished an episode of Answer It, yeah. I say that because I finished an episode of Love is Blind, and I think that's around 45 minutes. And so I was in there for quite a while, and you know, you do your best, you know, while you do your best. And because this was not a good hotel room, this is not my fault, but because this is not a good hotel room, things in the hotel room are not good, right? So like the little cabinets are rickety and everything, and at a certain point, the toilet does stop flushing. And I don't know what to do, because they put everything in there, but they don't put enough in there. Like there's no plunger in the room, and I kind of get why, because I understand if you go to a hotel room and there's already a plunger in there, you're like, I'm not in a good place. I'm not. Things have happened here. If there's already a plunger in here, I don't want to live this life. I need to try to get my money back, right? But when you need a plunger and there's not one, you are like, why don't they just have a plunger in here? You know, and there's no cabinet with certain things like a broom or a plunger that you would need. And so I finish up. I got most of the poison out, and now I got to figure out what I'm gonna do though, because I'm in this room for 2 days. And I don't know, I personally let things bother me, and I let my mind go to place, like I'll go with a scenario to a place that it would probably never go, but I'm so in my head about it, you know what I mean? Like there's a part of me that's scared that if they know that this is me, because now I have to tell them. Now you know what I mean? Now I'm basically supposed to go downstairs because I can't call down because the phone is broken. It's not a good hotel room. And so now I basically have to go downstairs and be like, hey, listen, I got some food from where y'all recommended, by the way. And it poisoned me. I was poisoned, and then I had to work the poison out. Anyway, do you have a plunger? That is too much in my mind to have to do with a stranger. And I was like, I was even honestly kind of rehearsing it in the mirror. Like, I was just like, if I just ask for a plunger, or if I'm like, hey, do you have any extra bathroom supplies? And then they're like, toilet paper. I'm like, guess again. Like, I don't know what to do next, but I'm panicking. And sometimes I really do, I don't let people see it, but sometimes I really work myself into a frenzy. And so I was like practicing in the mirror what I might say. And then I was like, no, because then even if I plunge it myself, I don't even want them to come in, because then they'll think of me like that. I can't leave a tip big enough I also can't leave a tip big enough because I don't have the money to stay in a nicer place. So we are all meeting on the level right now, right? And so I'm like, I'll plunge it myself, but then if I plunge it, then where do I put the plunge? And so then I go downstairs, and I'm standing in front of the front desk, and somebody else was checking in, so I let them check in, and then I walk up, and I'm like, hey, I think my room got broken into. And it just sort of came out of my mouth. But they were like, what? And I was like, oh yeah, I came back and the door was open and stuff. Y'all don't have cameras, do you? You wouldn't have cameras. This isn't a nice hotel, so. Okay, y'all have to take my word for it, thank goodness. Yeah, I sort of came back and my door was cracked open. Maybe I didn't close it enough. That's my bad, but can you, I don't know. I just don't know what to do. This has never happened to me before. And so then they're like, well, let us see if anything was taken. And so I was like, oh, I didn't want this to happen either. And they walk with me back to my room. And so I open the door, and the bathroom door is closed. I had to close it. Even for me, it smells like poison in there. And so the bathroom door is closed, so that we're walking around the room. Now, I have been quite messy, so it does look a little robbed in there, which is very convenient for the lie I just told. Like, there's, you know what I mean? There's just, the bag is open and it's upside down. I did that. Like, I just got frustrated. I couldn't find my fidget spinner, and so I was like, But then I'm looking around, and they're looking around. They're like, do you see anything missing? I'm like, no, not really. And I slip back behind them while they're looking around. And they're like, yeah, it doesn't look like they kicked the door open or anything. And then I open the bathroom door. I'm like, ugh. They did something bad in here. Y'all need to up security. Y'all. Look, nobody should have to deal with this. Do y'all have a plunger? Because I will do it myself. I was reading the news and I saw this Mark Robinson. If y'all don't know who that is, he's a lieutenant governor of North Carolina. and he's running for governor of North Carolina as the GOP candidate. And a bunch of news came out where basically there are these profiles that they found of him from a long time ago being on porn sites saying the craziest stuff you can imagine, right? And this is my thing. First of all, this is a terrifying and dangerous man, and I know that because he leaves comments on the message boards of porn sites. What? A porn site is simple, okay? You get in and you get out. You don't stay to chat. What's wrong with you? You're not here to make friends. You are out of your mind. Why are you just on here being with? That's weird as hell. No one I've ever met has been like, oh, well, I can't wait to log on and talk. That's a real sick man right there. That's crazy. And just so you know, Mark Robinson has been endorsed by Trump. Trump would stump with him and stuff like that. And he's been at Trump rallies and stuff. And then, Mark Robinson's a very big man. He's huge. He's a large guy. And Trump called Mark Robinson Martin Luther King on steroids. Because I don't think he understands how steroids work. They don't just make you bigger in general. They don't balloon you. You gotta work out a little bit. You gotta do something. Mark Robinson is over here being I think, I don't know what opinions he truly holds. I don't, because, politicians lie and they pretend to be who they think you want them to be. But it seems like he's trying to appeal to the most radical version of a conservative, right? And he has his little taglines and he gets in with phrases. I think that's why Trump likens him to Martin Luther King, because he tries to put on an MLK-esque voice when he speaks and everything, but he says stuff that he sure as base wants to hear. And he said really horrific stuff about gay people, about trans people and everything. And they uncovered all of these things that he had said on the message boards of these porn sites because his username sometimes was his name. Fellas, I understand that sometimes we're in the heat of the moment and you go to one of these illicit sites, and the site asks you questions. Maybe the site, in order to enter, they want an email or something, or as eager as you are, please do not give them your actual information. This goes out to everybody. I don't care what you believe in, who you're voting for. Please do not give a porn site your real name and email address you use for work. I know it's the first email address that comes to mind when you've got other things on the mind, but make up an email address real quick. I know that sometimes that takes a second because then you got to make a fake Google account. You got to go back. You got to accept the email from the porn site and then just look. But make it so they don't know it's you every time. It shouldn't be that hard, but apparently it is, because then CNN and the journalists on CNN, I don't remember if they're actually CNN affiliates, but basically the journalists that looked into it found that on lots of porn sites he was using the same username, the same handles, which turn out to be the same usernames and the same handles he used on Twitter and fellas, even if it means coming up with a fake name right now, just come up with something to say in your mind. The fact that he was using his email all the time, but it makes sense. I guess he would use his email because he was using his name and he was commenting and all that. So he probably wanted to get the feedback from what people were saying to what he was saying. Now that I think about it, maybe it was more intentional than dumb. Like, but he said insane things. This dude, first of all, on a porn site, no one is looking for feedback, really. Do you know what I mean? Maybe there's some. Maybe some crowd-funded, crowd-sourced. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm sure. Look, I haven't been on OnlyFans, but I'm sure with an OnlyFans, there are people that are like, I made this thing. I hope people like it. Let me get some feedback. This is what they like. This is what they don't like. That makes sense, right? But if you're just out in the world watching whatever comes up, and then you're just commenting all the time, you need a friend. This dude said such insane things. Some of them I can't repeat, but a couple of them I will. This dude said, unprovoked, I'm a black Nazi. I don't know where you begin with I'm a black Nazi from a black dude who should have probably left the porn site by now. Like, he said other stuff. He was like, I would rather Hitler in office than the people that are in there now. I'm more confused than angry. I'm not gonna lie. You know, and then he said stuff about how, like, my man, slavery wasn't that bad. I wish they would bring back slavery. I'd buy a couple. Mind you, this is on a porn site. What wires do you have crossed in your head? Does being horny make you angry? What? In what world does that come up? You know, it's very specific. You know, in what world are you on a porn site and then you're like, you know what really needs to be fixed? The Senate. Bruh. What? You know, I do my best. I really do. I do my best to try to understand people, and I don't get this one. This is beyond me. Because even outside of what he said on the sites, it's also some of the things that make him unfit for office are just what he says out in the open. The way that he talks about people who are definitely his constituents. You know? There are gay people in North Carolina. There are trans people in North Carolina. So when he speaks, he's speaking about them and sometimes to them. And he says very sick, hateful things, you know? And just the way that he has this weird, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I try to love everybody, but it's very hard to love a black man that hates being a black man. It is jarring. You don't even know where to start. And the thing that I think maybe he thinks is that his proximity to whiteness and what the white people around him like will be his safety. And it's not going to be the case. Fundamentally, it won't. You know? Because when you say things like slavery wasn't that bad, I wish they would bring back slavery, I'd buy a couple. Who do you think? It's hard to get to the bottom of what this person is thinking, because it's so crazy, you know? It's like it's one of those things where you look at state of politics, and it's one thing to lie, and it's one thing to say what you think people want to hear, but it's another thing to be an absolute lunatic and already in office, because he's already lieutenant governor. So governor's not that far of a stretch. And he got to be lieutenant governor saying mostly what he says now, minus the porn stuff. And it's so bad that Donald Trump himself, the dude who would stump with them, this is Martin Luther King on steroids. He doesn't know what steroids are. This is Martin Luther King on steroids. Donald Trump's campaign is even telling him, hey, you may need to drop out. If Donald Trump's campaign Donald J. Trump's campaign is telling you to drop out, you should probably leave Earth. The idea that Donald Trump's campaign is like, this guy, ugh. The fact that Trump distanced himself from Mark Robinson, Trump done distanced himself from Nazis. The fact that he was like, oof, this is pretty weird, right? You know? Like Trump didn't denounce the Proud Boys openly. They asked him about the Proud Men. And he was like, you know, boys will be boys, I guess, or whatever. But you, no. And that's exactly what I mean. Your proximity to whiteness won't save you. You're actually saying and doing some of the same things that the people say and do that Trump didn't distance himself from. But he's getting as far away as he can from your black ass. He's getting so far away from you, you would think he was on steroids. I think a lot about how we think about each other and we treat each other, especially now with like an election on us, you know? Everybody's exhausted. Why do we even do it this way? You know, in like France, they're like 3 months out, they're like, who should we pick? Like we're the only ones that make it a season and a half of TV. Like no one else in the world does this. No one else in the world is like, all right, 2024, let's start talking about 2028. Why do we do it this way? And then you watch people, watch how they react to people, you know? Like, I have a tougher time than I've ever had with the things that are being said, you know? Everybody expects politicians to lie. Everybody expects politicians to not care about them. I get that. But what's happening right now is, like, truly insane. You know, J.D. Vance was at a rally, and it's weird. Okay, I've just never seen somebody with less charisma. Like, J.D. Vance makes Ron DeSantis look like Ron White. Like, it's... Because when Ron DeSantis was running, I was like, why he smiling like that? He was just, do you remember his smile? He's right. He's like, it's like it hurt him to talk to people, person to person. Then J.D. Vance got in there and nobody was happy. And J.D. Vance said, you know, they asked him about how he felt about the whole rumor about the dogs and cats things affecting the Haitian community, why they've been zeroing in on Haitians specifically in Springfield for some reason. You know, he's from Ohio and everything like that. And he basically said, like, and you could look this up for yourself if you think I'm being unfair, but he basically said that, you know, this is a Democrat talking point and a point by the media and everything, as if he didn't say it. And then he basically says, you know, everyone loves talking about those Haitians in the community like they came here legally and are doing everything legally, but they were brought in and they were legalized through a process by Kamala Harris that is unconstitutional. So as long as they're here, I'm going to call them illegal aliens. He's talking about the people who did the right thing, by the way. You'll still be illegal. You'll never not be illegal, in my view. That's wild. You can't do that. You just can't, because the law is supposed to be the law. You're supposed to be the party of law and order. You can't just be like, nuh-uh, that's not... It's not how the law is supposed to work, you know? And look, I think that one of the reasons we get pitted against each other really, really hard is because America makes a promise, and it makes a promise to everybody that they will have it better tomorrow. And a better tomorrow isn't coming for everybody because of systems in place to keep tomorrow like today. So when I see Donald Trump at a rally and he says they're coming from Africa, they're coming from the Middle East, some of them are coming from Asia. These people are coming to our country, they're poisoning the blood of our country, and we have to get them out. I don't just think about people of color. I do think for a second about white people from the past, right? Because white wasn't always this like singular identity. There was a time in America where if you were Irish, you were spit on. Where if you were Italian, you were beat. And everything that Trump says about them is what they said about all those people in the background, right? About their great-grandparents. So they may cheer it on, but recognize if you have Italian descent, if you have Irish descent, if you're Greek, there was a time where you were not welcome here. And they said that your very presence and the presence of your children would destroy the country, would poison the blood. And then we became the most powerful country in the world. So clearly it's a lie. It's so clearly a lie. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying this as if I'm like, oh, you know, don't even have a program, open borders, just let everybody come in, spill it. The thing that they are painting, sometimes it's not even what's happening in the area. And look, I'm going to tell you right now that I think that there should be a fair and legal and simple process for becoming a citizen. Do you know what I mean? And I think that having a process is not un-American. Having a process is not cruel, right? But there has to be a process. But then when that process is adhered to, you can't just be like, no, that's unmanageable. You know, that's wild to me. You know, I have friends who, one of my good friends is Italian, first generation Italian, and he's a bit older, and he tells me stories of, well, what it was like for his family, right? And so much of it was based around fear. These Italians are coming over here, and they're gonna ruin everything with their good food. You know? And they were called criminals. There was an assumption that everybody, no matter who you were, in the Italian community was in the mob, and you were dangerous, and people should stay away from you, you know? It's everything. It's every single thing that's happening now. I'm not saying that there's no possibility of having an immigration problem. I'm not saying that it's not something that needs to be addressed. I'm saying the rhetoric that you use when you talk about people is important. No matter what you do when you build policy, you know? Because I would like the people who are hardworking, the people who are honest, the people who genuinely love America to be in America, you know? Because the same things that they do to immigrants now is what they did back in the day, you know? Maybe you were Irish, and maybe an Irish person in your community committed a crime, and now it's a crime on all of you. Not just one of you did it, y'all all did it. Every single one of you, and we're gonna make you feel like you did it. We're gonna put up signs. Right? And if you're Irish, you know what those signs said. You know what I mean? So where did that get us? And where are we now? You know, because we didn't send those Irish people back. We didn't send those Italian people back. You know, we found a way to make things work, and you build on a process and you improve it. I'm not saying there's not a process that doesn't need to be improved. I really am not. I'm saying that the way that you talk about people is important. Outside of anything else, whether they share some land with you or not. You know, and the same things that are happening now are what happened back then, you know? I'm scared of having a political process that's it's untenable. No.
Have you ever noticed when people say, call me old-fashioned, it's always for something good? You know, people are like, call me old-fashioned, but you should hold the door open for the person behind you. Or like, call me old-fashioned, but the man should pay for the date. Bad things happened in old-fashioned, you know what I mean? Are you serious? No one's ever like, call me old-fashioned, but we need some slaves around here. We really do. There's no more overhead to pay, all right? If they can build the pyramids, they can make Subway sandwiches. I will not lose my franchise this year. You know? It's insane. No one's ever like, call me old-fashioned, but I don't like when women voice their opinion. It has always upsetted me. Feels gross. I don't like it. They're just throwing out ideas that I would have had if they had given me enough time to say it myself. But then they're talking, and it's like, ugh. You know?
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and tell a friend. That would be a huge help if you tell people about it. Sharing is great. There's like a share button, but if you tell people, they might click on it.